This module is part 1 of strategies to promote active student engagement with opportunities to respond, or OTRs. Hello, my name is Dr. Naomi Brahim, and I am the Multi-Tiered Systems of Support Manager for Jefferson County Public Schools in Louisville, Kentucky. As a reminder, an OTR is a teacher-presented question or direction that facilitates active student engagement with the curriculum. That is, OTRs make the students think and interact with the lesson content. Importantly, all OTRs include a back and forth with the teacher that needs to be taught to the student, same as any other routine. While there are several OTR strategies to consider in this module, we'll focus on those that require students to verbally or gesturally respond to the teacher. We begin with verbal OTRs, which specifically refer to teacher prompts that set students up to answer back to the teacher, either individually or in unison. Of course, student responses to the teacher are also heard and seen by the rest of the class. But some OTRs can be used during individual instruction. The first verbal strategy is known as the whip around, and it is useful in getting students to focus their thoughts during the transition to new content. This involves asking the students a rather general question about the content area with as many answers as possible. Watch in this example how the teacher quickly gets all the students thinking about the content by actively engaging them in the whip around.
Okay, as we transition to government, we're going to continue talking about the executive branch. So let's start with a quick whip around. I want you to name any president of the United States. I'm going to start here in the front, and I'm going to go through the whole room. And remember, if you don't have one in mind, you can pass, or if somebody already said your answer, that's okay, say it again. President.
Trump, George Washington, Dwight D. John Adams,
Barack Obama.
Ronald Reagan.
Note that the teacher kept the pace brisk, very short and quick answers. This is just a means to get everyone's thoughts on the content as the lesson begins and shouldn't take up much time. The quick poll is a variation of the whip around, but instead of going around the room, the teacher asks the questions about the content and the students verbally vote yes or no to the question. Another verbal OTR strategy involves asking students to respond in unison, or what is called choral responding. The students have been taught to watch for the teacher's signal, so that once the teacher asks a question, there is brief time to think, and then a signal for all to verbally say the answer. Sometimes people think of choral responding as something that's only useful with young children or direct instruction. But choral responding can very effectively be used with older students. As with all OTRs, the primary purpose is engagement, not assessment. Watch this teacher use choral responding to both engage the students and provide important information for the lesson.
Okay, attention up here, everybody. Wait for my signal, and we're going to talk about our publication process. What are we going to talk about?
Publication process.
Good. And first, you're going to need to post your story to the class literature web box today. Where are you going to post your story?
Class literature web box. Today.
Awesome. And when are you going to post it?
Today.
Great. And after you post it, you're then going to need to send it to your editing partner. And you'll get that list of who your partner is in your email. Where will you find the list?
In the email.
Excellent. And last thing,
Note that the teacher used choral responding as part of giving directions, but it could just as easily be used during instruction to focus student attention on important points. We move now to talk about using OTRs that involve student gestures. These include both hand gestures and physical modeling. There are 3 common variations of hand gestures used as student responses: thumbs up, thumbs down, fingers as numbers, and the fist to 5. Thumbs up or thumbs down are probably the most common among the hand signals, and you've probably seen people using this in all sorts of content beyond the classroom. The teacher simply asks a question that has a binary response like agree or disagree, or maybe thumbs up if you think this is right and thumbs down if you think it's wrong. Some teachers use the thumb signals as simply a judgment of student comfort, asking students to show whether they feel comfortable with the content as it's being taught. Using fingers as numbers is also quite common, especially in math. Teachers can ask math questions and ask students to show the answers on their hands, but this is likely appropriate only with younger students and with single-digit math. But fingers can also be connected to different responses, kind of like a multiple choice. In either case, the teacher's prompts tell the students exactly what to consider and what the responses mean. This might involve questions like, how many of these answers do you think are correct? Or, there are answers 1 through 4, which one do you think is correct? In the Fist of 5 strategy, the teacher asks the students to give a rating of some question on a scale of 0 to 5. A fist means 0, and a full hand means 5. The teacher may ask a question such as, how comfortable are you doing this on your own? Or, how much did you like the way we practiced today compared to the other way? In this module, we've talked about students' verbal and gestural responses. As you've seen, these are pretty simple and can be used in an impromptu manner as needed. However, it is always recommended that the teacher consider during their lesson plans where different OTRs may be necessary and have some ideas ready.